And welcome to the Part-Time Nerd Podcast with me, your host, Alan. And joining me today is Butterfly Bill. How you doing, buddy?
Doing great. How you doing?
You know what? Just doing good, man. Living the dream. Living the dream. So here we are, Peacemaker, episode number 6. Murn after reading. I know we're a little late on this video, but, life happens. Um, all in all, best episode of the season. I mean, it has everything that I wanted in it. It brings back the janitor right there at the beginning, right? He's there doing the was it not bring your parent to work, but bring your relative to work day or whatever, and he's Uncle Peacemaker.
Mhm.
Um and he's making fun of all the kids as they ask a question and stuff like that. And the kids are throwing shade right back at him. Um
Oh, but don't gloss over the kid that was like, do you know who blah 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 is or whatever? And he goes, I think you're kidding. I think you're my dad.
yeah, he's just like, huh. Uh Next question, slanted eyes. What do you got
Oh
for me?
God, it was nonstop. Just he had all these nicknames for these kids. It was so crazy. I tensed up every time he said something.
Yeah, it was so great. And he's walking out with them. He's like, "Oh, thank you so much for coming. So and so had this person." And my kid was like, "Too bad we don't have anybody." He's like, "Oh, I've got an uncle for you. Remember? You told me anything." He's like, "I don't remember that." He's like, "No, you did, man."
I love that guy.
Oh, dude, he's so great. I mean, everything that I've seen him in has been freaking hilarious. There's not a ton, but when he shows up, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
But you've got that going on. You've got the police officer. She ends up getting the everything taken care of with her uncle, so they release Peacemaker's dad,
Mhm.
which he's getting out, and that whole interaction between the two of them was freaking hilarious. Um, she said something like, "Yeah, I'll see you later," and homeboy chimes in with "wouldn't want to be," and she just looks over and like, "What? Why did you?" Would you? I don't know. I regret saying that. I just felt like it was just natural, and then I said it. No, but yeah, and he's going back, and what was he says like ching chong ping pong,
He
or
says
see you later. And she's like, oh, your translation's a little off. What you said was looks like a donkey took a dump on my head.
yeah.
Yeah, he gets out, and he's like, the first thing he says is, "Oh, I got to do what I should have done years ago. I got to kill my son." You're like, okay.
He's like the most ruthless dude ever.
Dude, and that whole scene over at his house with all the Klansmen there and stuff like that, and then they're putting his suit on him, like he goes into his room, they're putting the suit on him. It's very sexual. Like it
I
was
It went from I thought it was more like the clan, right? Because they have the dunce dome shaped or whatever hats, but they have the ears that stick up. You know what I mean for the
because
drag.
he's the white dragon, and
White
yeah,
drag.
it was very erotic and confusing, and things were
Was it
happening,
just?
and I didn't know how to feel. Like I was like, what
It
is
was
going
just
on?
that naked chick, right? I mean, that was it. She was the one.
Yeah, but it was just very eh, check it out again. It's very, very confusing. Uh,
They are all kneeled down, and being kind of whatever. But yeah,
yeah,
it's a weird thing. I think that was towards the end. Was that towards the middle?
it's kinda in there. I mean,
There's a lot going on.
there's a lot that happens during this episode. They make the move on Peacemaker's house,
Mhm.
but then you also find out that everybody knows that Murn's a butterfly except for Peacemaker now. And like Economos, he's like, yeah, when you start talking about it in front of him, he just plugs his ears and starts screaming. And then like he walks in, she's like, hey, Abadiah knows. He's like, la la la, la. And you're just like, she's like, yo, he really does that. Okay.
Yeah, it's so yeah, he's the only one that doesn't know. They all know. Now you realize, okay, so then it's not a big deal, but
Yeah.
for some weird reason, he's the one that's like, I'm trying to figure it out. They're going down some other path, but the invasion happens anyways. I mean, Jesus Christ, there was like
Holy
thousands
hell. Like,
showed up.
but yeah, so they're Peacemaker's at his house, Vigilante shows up, and they're sitting there, and he still got the thing. And then you got them just going back and forth, just I I I love the interaction between the two of them because
Their
it's just
banter's out of
always
control.
it's crazy. And like they're trying to communicate with him, and he's like, "Oh, if your favorite color is red, tap once for yes, tap twice for no." And he's like, "Why would we want to know if his favorite color is red?" He's like, "Why wouldn't we?" Like, maybe it's not red. He's like, but you realize it's yes or no questions, right? Yeah, I'll just go through all the colors until we get to his favorite color. Like,
Because maybe it's teal.
maybe it's teal. Why the fuck would we want to know it's teal? Why don't you think that's interesting?
Oh my!
No, I don't.
Vigilante's character is seriously him and I call him Jim Varney. Him and Jim Varney Jr. are funny. They're just John Cena. They're pulling so much weight in this show, and it's
Dude,
hilarious.
it's so great. But yeah, they show up to surround his place just as they get a hold of him. And it was Vigilante's phone rings. I can't remember what the ringtone was, but it was some freaking hilarious ringtone. Like I wish I wrote it down, but I didn't. But yeah, that goes on. And so their big plan is just to go out on the roof. Like that was the easy way to go out, is to climb up on the roof. Like no one thought to look on the roof, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
but nobody did. And like he grabs Eagly and throws Eagly up there. Like, go, buddy. Like
Well, they shut it. Then they're kind of walking off. Then they're in these giant trees. They're just kind of walking out there and just idiots. They're just morons.
it's and he's telling them to bring, is it Golf or something like that? I think Golf is the name of the butterfly.
Yeah,
And
he's
he
got
he
duct taped
tapes
around, but it's on his
around.
back for whatever reason. It's like,
Yeah, like he's like, so I have both my hands. Okay, I mean that kind of makes sense. But then he falls out of the tree and he gets out and then takes over that female police officer, and that's just violent. Like,
yeah,
holy! And then what followed was insane. Like,
yeah.
she's coughing up blood and everything, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, she's dead." Her whole face is covered in blood. Meanwhile, they're getting away, and the guy who took over that worked with Murn like comes and just starts killing people left and right. Like, it took a dark turn, and then they're going back to the station, and she signals for all the other butterflies to come, and they just, dude, that
Like,
scene
yeah,
when all the,
show up. Yeah, then she's like typing away. He goes, "What is that? It's a bunch of little symbols on your screen. It's not even letters, whatever." And oh boy, you knew it
dude,
was coming.
yeah, and then when they come in and take over that whole station, I was just like, "Holy hell!" And that, I think that's, they were doing that when when the White Dragon, when his dad's getting suited up. Meanwhile, Peacemaker's playing the piano, like, because he's just like, I. And fun fact, that was actually John Cena playing. Like, he actually played that song.
Yeah. I mean, it
Um,
looks like his hands. Like his hands are
yeah,
definitely recognizable. You know what I mean? If they
right.
cut away and it's like a dainty, smaller hand or something like
Yeah.
that, you can see his knuckles are all effed up. It was him.
But yeah, so you've got all that. So I mean, it just ends with the butterflies taking over. You've got everybody but Peacemaker knows, that diary that she planted shows up, which is a diary of a psychopath. Which that's what Waller was in. Waller was going to end up framing Peacemaker for all the murders that they were going to do of killing all the butterflies, and keep it a secret by making it look like he's just a complete psychopath. When no, he's not. He's really doing this. But yeah, no, this I think there's 8 episodes in the season, so we got 2 left. Um, it's gonna be crazy, right? Like, you've got his dad's coming to kill him, so he's gonna be dealing with that, and then the whole police station's completely taken over. Like,
Inmates too, officers and
inmates,
inmates.
the whole station, it just insane. Like, it was just mass chaos, and I'm just sitting there just watching this episode, like, holy hell! Like, so much happens in it, but I don't think it was really any longer than any of the other episodes. It's
Absolutely.
just, there's just a lot that happens, and there's just a ton to unpack. But it's still, again, with everything that happens, you're moving the story forward, but you still have the awesome interaction between Peacemaker and Vigilante, and with Hardcore, and she's talking to Abadiah and bringing her kind of up to speed on everything. And you've even got the thing where she's like talking to Murn, she's like talking to him like, you took over this person and you killed them, and he's like, this guy was a horrible, horrible person. Like, I I didn't just kill a good person. I killed an awful, awful person. Which, that's everything that you've heard about him this entire show,
Yeah.
is how awful he was and how he was doing this and that and all that. And but yeah, he's like, no, I didn't just kill a person. I killed an awful person. We're better off for it. Like, but yeah, it just, just another great episode. I mean, I've been talking most of the time. What did you think about this episode?
That was wild. I really did enjoy it, and boy, it was graphic when those things went up in them. Like when the
Dude,
butterflies were entering the humans, it made like almost like blender sounds and like blood shooting out. I was like, holy! I mean, but that's the show, right? The show's
yeah.
been like that the entire time. A lot of blood, action, stuff like that. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. I can't wait to see where it goes. Yeah, the white dragon's on the loose now. I don't know what's gonna
The
happen.
whole police department is
There's no
butterflies.
way. There's no way
Just
it's a showdown within the next 2 episodes with him and his dad. You know, that's not going anywhere. But yeah, I mean, how are they gonna pull this off? I mean, it's just gonna carry over to season 2. It has to, right? Unless they
now,
find the mothership and zap it.
yeah, again, and they're going off after the cow, right? The one animal that produces all of the food for the butterflies, whatever it is, and they know where it is, and they're working on. They're going to go that night to go attack it. So I'm curious to see, does everything happen out there at this farm? Because I mean, if everything goes down out at this farm, okay, that's an easy way for no one else to get involved in it, right? You're out here in this big open secluded area at this barn, and it's just going to be just a
Blood
Peacemaker and Vigilante and
bloodbath.
Hardcore just going through, just tearing some. Eagly's going to be, dude. Eagly came down and was like going to town on people. Vigil's like, holy crap, Eagly's hardcore.
As they're escaping out of his trailer, yeah, they're like,
Yeah,
"Oh, stop!" And he'd swoop in, hit him right in the face or whatever. I'm like, "Oh my god!"
yeah. You got Eagly killing people, like, and meanwhile you got Peacemaker just he's not okay with any of this because this whole season he's kind of had this whole revelation, and like he says it to Hardcore during this episode because she's engraving the dove of peace on it, and he's like, it's normally facing the other way, but whatever, it's cool. And he's like, it never was about that. He's like, I don't want to kill anymore. And she's like, well, what about all these butterflies? Like, no, I'm cool killing aliens and stuff. It's just people. I don't want to kill people anymore. And then all these actions, that everything that happened after that was just nonstop people being killed because of him. Like,
Yeah,
had he killed this butterfly like he was supposed to, none of that would have happened. But as
right.
the whole conversation with him and Vigilante, he's keeping it to prove his masculinity, because this big, evil, awful thing, and to prove that he can keep it as a pet is a sign of how much of a man he is, right?
He's got problems, man. He's got some mental problems. He's trying to work through them, though.
And Vigilante trying to explain that to Murn and them was just hilarious. He's like, no, it's just it's a manly thing, to keep the pet and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, I haven't been disappointed yet.
No,
I'm now hooked to the theme song. I watched the intro and I watch I go back and watch the original video too, and it's hilarious. But yeah, I haven't had a bad experience yet with this show, and I need more, right? I
yeah.
need more. And hell, give me a vigilante spinoff at this point.
I mean, why not? You know what? Sign me up for a Peacemaker Vigilante movie. I'm in. The more I can get of them, the happier I'm gonna be.
Yeah,
Because Vigilante's awesome, but I think what it is, and I think what's made Peacemaker better, um, is the two of them playing off of each other. Like it's the interaction between the two of them. It's the back and forth. It's classic little brother big brother is what it is. Their relationship is, Peacemaker's the big brother, Vigilante's the little brother, just trying to get his brother's approval, and the big brother just being annoyed, the all pissed with him, but he's not going to get rid of him. He's going to keep him around, right? He's going to look after him and things like that. Yeah. So, but yeah, just awesome show. If you guys haven't watched it yet, start now. You'll love it. You'll thank us later. You got anything else on this one?
nope. Thoroughly
All
enjoyed it. Easy watch, a lot of blood, but I mean, it was funny. The damn
right.
thing's funny, and it keeps you guessing. There's always a twist.
Always. It's
Mm.
just it's just so freaking good. I can't wait. I'm sad I only got 2 episodes left. No. But hey guys, thank you so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, follow, comment, all that fun stuff. If there's anything you want us to watch, shoot us over an email, parttimenerdpodcast@gmail.com. Until next time, we'll talk.